Hello. So I'm going to do a video about the what used to be called the Brahma dolphin. For those of you who have been watching these, you will probably have seen my video not long ago, and I'll put a link in there of me going, "Oh God, I've been a dickhead." Where we was going to put these. The idea, this rig had two purposes. First purpose was obviously I wanted to make it go underwater, and the second purpose I wanted to create a rugged rig that you could cameras can be mounted onto surfboards, it can be mounted onto trucks going through off-road in mud and all kinds of other stuff. Something that was going to be going to protect the cameras a lot more. And they were the two aims for this rig. And I made a bit of a boob. I won't go on about this because I've done that on another video. But the underwater things has pointed out to me, the field of view. Yes, I forgot all about elementary physics and the field of view. Now, I still think that it doesn't work with AutoPano software, which is the software I normally use, which is fair enough because of the field of view, lack of field of view. But I have a funny feeling, as I said before, that my software, which works in a different way, may be able to recover the situation. So, but I haven't finished it yet, so it's all rubbish. I'm just talking out my backside here, but I don't know. I've got a feeling it might I might be able to recover the underwater side of this at some point. Anyway, so what we're talking about today, I haven't even thought of a name yet, because I like dolphin. I had a guy set up to record some great underwater footage, and anyway, that's it. So it's still got legs. So let me switch up to it. So this has still got legs. This is, I think, got some really good potential. Now, it's crucial to understand that this is not. If you let me just go back to here again. You can see the product range up here. Okay, in this picture. If you want to, if perfect stitching, etc. I'm not saying it gives perfect, but it's the closest you can get. If you want really good stitching, you need to go for the Brahma 6, which is the red one, the upcoming purple one, which is the Brahma 7, which has vertical stitching, or one of the duos, which give. So those three give designed for the best potential stitching. So the stitching on this isn't going to be as good because look, the cameras are further away. They're inside an external housing. There's all kinds of stuff that's going to affect it. However, it will give pretty. Main thing is you can then mount this onto something, take it somewhere. It's kind of extreme, shall we say? Now, bear in mind, if you're thinking of taking this and throwing it off a cliff face and think it's strong enough to cope with it, no, it's not meant for that. It's a lot stronger. Let's go back. The design is a lot thicker. You'll notice this in the cost. Okay, it's gone up by about 25-30% in cost and materials. This has got more expensive, and also you need these cases. Now the good thing is here that this will take it will take a number of cases. It's really designed for these ones, and the links are provided. But hang on a second, in true rubbish style, I'm going to put the new version will hold different types. So these are like different versions of the Xiaomi case. There's another version of the Xiaomi case. But interestingly, this is a GoPro case. Okay, so this will fit in here. You can mount this in here. So you could use the plastic GoPro cases. I would like actually if someone has a GoPro to get in touch with me, because at the moment I'm going to say this is for Xiaomi's. Now I fit the GoPro case, but I'm just assuming. I mean, this is just a standard one I ordered online for about £15, and it fits fine. Okay, which surprised me. I didn't think it was going to, but it did fit. It did fit okay. So you can use these. which I think could be quite useful for people. But remember, this is not for underwater. I'm really going to stress this. I might even put a big banner that says not for underwater. But anything else doesn't matter, you know, because I'll put a link also to a video. In fact, I'll tell you what, I'll show you how resilient this thing is. If I can find, I should have prepped this, shouldn't I? Oh, here we go. Right, so get back to here. So what I did was I shoved it in the bath.
So, here's a quick video of the cat will leave you alone.
Okay, you can see. Can you see that?
You can see on this screen. The,
I'll set the link.
Apology, well, it's not really apology.
It's a bit weird, got it. Actually, you know what I did this a bit.
In the water, so obviously it works. It
yeah.
runs, but I just sort of explain what's going on.
Well, no, let's not explain what's going on because you're going to bore me. Oh, okay, so let's reload that. Let's go to here. Right. So this will go underwater, works fine. Obviously, because they're rated to 60 meters. So you can take them out. You can put it on a truck. You can put it, get as wet as you like, and get mud fired at it. I mean, you won't be able to see for the mud, but you know you can. It'll protect your camera. So I think that's where it's going to be good. And I was thinking to call it the Brahma Extreme. Bearing in mind by extreme, I don't mean throw it off a cliff because it is made out of a nylon plastic, okay, which is very, very strong, but not indestructible, okay. So yes, I think it's got great legs. Now let's show you how you put these in. So let me see if I switch over to this. Will this help? Right. Okay. So I've already mounted my cameras on here. So if I know what we'll do is we will remove. Hang on a second. I've done it again. What an idiot! I've got the 6mm screws here. So you need these are 5mm Allen keys, Allen bolts, and locking nuts. Okay, so if I just undo this, I'll do this way, and I'll stick in. I don't have a GoPro, unfortunately, sadly. They're just too expensive. I mean, this whole project started because I wanted to build a 360 rig, and I just couldn't afford the GoPros. They're ridiculous. The whole rig was coming to £1,700. It was a complete waste of money. These rigs build for about 400 quid. Loads of people are building them. Right. Okay, so let's pop this out. That one comes out. It's just a... Okay, so here's the GoPro one. See, I can tell that because I wrote GoPro on it. And we pop that into there. Okay. Right, let me just... It's a bit tricky to show this on camera. You just have to line... Hang on, I'm just going to... There we go. So you just... Basically, if you can see... Can't really see that, can you? You just... I mean, it's not rocket science. You put the bolt through it. Now what this will mean is you can use these in extreme environments. Okay, the one thing I have noticed is this little button on the side. This is where I want someone, if someone wants to order this and try this, if it doesn't work, okay, and they're not happy with it. I mean, if a dozen people try this, I mean, I'd like someone just to come in. At the moment, this is a Xiaomi product, okay. But if someone wants to order it and they try it and it doesn't work properly for them, because my only concern is this button here, is it's kind of touching it. So, but I don't think it's touching enough to be a problem. Okay, so if you push that back in, okay, so that's in there. Okay, okay, so now the key thing is you want to make sure these ones fit beautifully. I mean, they really do. It's absolutely beautifully, but that one fits in there. It does up nice. And it seems fine for me. I think that's fine. Key thing is to always make sure when you have a look at it, just make sure, because as I said, the GoPro ones aren't a perfect fit. They're almost, but they're not quite. So you may have to make sure before you do your locking nuts up, make sure that this bit here is flat. So kind of just maybe just twist it a little bit like that, bend it so you're pushing this up a bit to make sure this surface is flat in line with this surface. The lens is centered, okay. So you're fine on that. But so yeah, so it's in there, and I'm pretty damn sure it's going to work okay. Now again, the stitching is not, and I'll stress this, is not going to be as good as one of the Brahma 6 or the Brahma 7 because the lenses are a lot more together. However, you know, if you just play around, there's plenty of overlap. Though, having said that, there's not, so I don't know quite what's going on, but there's plenty of overlap. So you may have to fiddle around with it a little bit to get the stitching perfect. If all you're bothered about is stitching quality, this is not for you. Okay. But if you want something which you wouldn't be able to get any other way, then this is for you. So, and if you got one, it's just a case of the rig anyway. So, there you go. So that's in there. It's nice and simple. So let's put this back on here. And these are the ones that fit beautifully. I mean, because obviously I designed them for this, then adapted. Because the last prototype I had, I'd made a bit of a mess. Well, not a mess of it, actually. To be fair, it was almost spot on. But I wanted it to work on a number of these cases, and they have slightly thicker flanges. These flanges here are slightly thicker on some than the others, so I've had to kind of come up with a balance, just to get a nice size, one size that fits all basically. Right, so if I do this again, right, just all you want to do at the moment is just pinch it. You don't need more because then it will just slide forward. Now you'll notice if I show you here, can you see this? That's a backstop. So as that pushes in, it sits on it. Yeah, it just sits on that, and that locates it into position. But whenever you do, it's always worth making sure that this flat surface here is flat with there. Okay, so if you've got one of these holders and it doesn't quite go flat, it's a bit low, make sure that when you tighten it up that you've got it in the right position, because that's going to help you stitching no end. Right, so sticking cameras in. Well, they're all different, but this one's pretty straightforward. So you just click that button there, and no, you do it the other way. Flick it, do that, pop it out, go like that. Get your camera, put your camera in, pull the back up, again, clip. Now, really important, make sure that there is flicked back, because otherwise it will come loose. That's on the cheaper ones, just bear that in mind. Okay. Once you're in and you're ready to go, now obviously you can't charge while these things are in, so you have to make sure they're fully charged. Just pinch it tight. That's now pretty much locked in place, and then just do this with all of them. Just work your way around. Okay, undo that, flip that up, get your camera, pop it in. Okay, and then just go around. I'm not going to bother doing these all up, I'll just put a few in. Okay, same with that one. So I think they get the gist of it. Okay, get another one, pop the camera in. Again, make sure that they're locked shut, because you do not want these things coming apart, okay, because your camera's then ruined. If you just clip it back, as you saw, I put these in the bath. These are actually pretty good ones. They're all fairly good. Clip, do it, push it back. Right, go around here, same thing again. And again, disclaimer, don't take it underwater. Well, you can take it underwater if you want to, I mean, I don't mind. And then if you want to mess around with the stitching, basically colour hasn't got the information it needs. Because if you get the Brahma 6 and you do it, it just goes donk and it stitches it and it's fine. Yeah, it's just because it's got tons of overlap, but this gives very little overlap, so it's that's why it's a problem. If you want to play around with it manually and position the data manually, you'll probably lose little bits in the corners, okay, or maybe you can stretch, or if you're going underwater and you might be able to just scale them up yourself. If you want to play with that, go underwater by all means, because this works underwater. Just don't come back to me and say it doesn't work underwater. I know, I told you. Okay, so that's very important. Right, so I've got all my cameras in here. Okay, you want to make, as I said before, make sure that if you look at that, just make sure it's level. So the surface there is level with the surface there, and then just go round, pinch them, and do them up. Now, once you've done that, go round, go round, go round, turn them all on. There you go. So they're all on, and then you can just start the recording. And of course, mounting them, you've got this here. I do have, actually, in fact, let me take one of the other ones apart. We have these little bolts, and I didn't actually show you that, but it's designed to go into there. Now you can get a bolt that matches this, that goes through this hole. Okay, I'll put the links on there, and you just bolt that to this chassis, giving yourself enough room to then mount that onto your camera holder. Or you can, there's other ways of bolting it, and I'll put links in there. But I have put extra stiffening because a friend of mine said, "Oh, you really want to be careful of that," and it's always been fairly strong. But you know, because there is a lot more weight. Okay, so I have thickened this. You'll notice this is a lot thicker than the others, and I've thickened this up so it's holding more on this curve. There's a lot more material holding that together, but of course I've got issues. Now here's a question: people say, well, why aren't they? There's bloody great holes there. You can, what's the big deal? Well, I'll tell you what it is. The idea is to get the centres of these. This is my opinion. Other people disagree with me. My results in the Brahma have been quite good. Is to have the centre of the lens in the centre of the square on all faces, okay, and to also have them rotated. So that one's horizontal, that was vertical, horizontal, vertical. So that's vertical, horizontal, vertical. So you see me. So and everything overlaps. You've got loads of overlap, and that's just the way I design it. But if you look here, let's find a couple. Two of them are very close. So these two here are really close together. I can't physically get them to go any closer together. Same thing with these two. See, these are quite close. A lot of these are very close together. So that's about as close as I could possibly get them. So stitching is more of a challenge. To be fair about that, it is more of a challenge. But it does mean you can take it in places where you couldn't take the other rigs, because you wouldn't want to put one of the Brahma 6s. Let me show you. Right, so not that one. You wouldn't want to put the little red one here on the front of on a surfboard. If someone says to me, "I'd like to mount it to the front of my surfboard," well, you wouldn't want to do that with the red one. You wouldn't want to do it with this one either, because you'd ruin your cameras in no time. Whereas this, you can do anything like, you can throw this in the ocean. It's fine. Chuck it in the ocean, and then just pull it out again and just bolt it on. It's fine. One thing I did learn, which is very interesting, is we have a remote control app. When it's in the water, the Wi-Fi it breaks connection with the app. Bring it out the water again, it works again. That's kind of odd. So you can control these with our app. Yeah, let's come back up here. You can control this with the app. So if you're on a boat, or you're in as I said, if you mount this on because my friend's got a Range Rover, and he loves going off-roading. So if you mount this onto the front of the truck, okay, make sure it's a very nice, strong mount, and really, really take. My only concern is in doing that, you might not get much. That would possibly be a concern, but you should be able to. We're not over the top. You should be able to do this fine, but it might shake a bit too much for the video. But anyway, but there you go. So I'm going to put this live with it. It doesn't go underwater. Can't get much clearer than that, can I? So if you use it, let me know. If you've got a GoPro, before you order it, if you want to order it, or GoPro Uni 6, obviously pointless with just one. If you have a GoPros and you want to give this a go, then by all means get in touch with me before you order it, okay? And then I'll say the first person who does it, I guarantee I promise I will do this. And all I say is, well, if it doesn't work, post it to me, the rig, and I'll refund you full money, whatever you got charged. Because it'd be interesting to see someone actually using it with a GoPro. And if it works okay and it's nice and your GoPros all fit and they're all working lovely, brilliant. and then I'll tell everyone, and then we'll mark it up as a GoPro friendly. But of course I don't have GoPros, and I'm not buying 6 GoPros just to test this. Alright, but there you go. So hopefully it might be of interest to people, and I'll give some feedback. Sorry it wasn't cheaper. Sorry. It's going to be about £130. It's about £30 more than the Brahma 6. And you need to buy these cases, and the Xiaomi ones on the link, they're about, I think about £7 each. £35 for them. GoPro ones about £15 each. Obviously, that's the cheap ones. But yeah, so it's not over £160 for the Xiaomi's anyway, without the cameras. But I think it makes quite a nice rig. But you know, let me know what you think. And that's it really. Any questions, come back, put it in the comments, and I'll try and answer them.